Okay, thank you. Now, in terms of juicing, is there something special about celery juice, or is sunflower sprout juice and spinach juice and cucumber juice also the same, or is celery, particularly important? And are we better off juicing celery or eating 8 stalks of celery? So, and should everyone be juicing every day for the rest of their life?
Everybody has been juicing spinach, beet, carrot, celery stick in there too, apples, sprouts. But the needle wasn't necessarily moved with chronic illness. That's a great drink right there. Just throw anything in a juicer and make some vegetable juice and some fruits and vegetables, and run a juice and give that to somebody who's trying to lose weight, trying to get off of fried, greasy food and animal products or anything, or whatever, anything they're butter, cheese, milk, fried food, and pizza. When you're getting them off of that and you put them on spinach, carrot, beet juice, they start seeing improvements. Everything starts going great. Celery juice is for that chronically ill person who's tried all the juices. They've tried it all. They've done the carrot juice and the beet juice. They've done all the vegetable and fruit juices. That's the whole point. There's a difference, and when you drink 16 to 32 ounces of straight celery juice on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, something magical happens, which is I think a big part of why it's taken over. Celery juice wasn't a trend or a fad because it was propelled by money, propelled by advertising dollars. It was an organic movement that exploded because of the fact that the needle was moving for people. They're like, what the hell? I tried every single juice. I go to Whole Foods. I go to the health food stores. I try every juice. I tried everything. The minute I started doing celery juice, 3 days later, something's changing. 7 days later, something's changing. And there's a huge difference with celery juice by itself. But juices have been around for forever. They've been around for a long time, extracting juices and carrot juice and beet juice and everything else, and spinach and beet, spinach and carrot, you name it. You go to the store and you do that. But there's a huge difference between celery juice and the regular juices. And of course, regular juices, great for people. Definitely. People can run their juicer all day and put a whole bunch of stuff, fruits and vegetables and greens, anything they want in there, and make themselves a really nice juice. But celery juice has been life-changing for people that are seasoned, people that really understand it. I mean, the reason why celery juice felt just literally, people were just grabbing it off the shelves. I mean, there's produce trucks that just only bring celery now to all the different health food stores. That didn't exist before. There's a reason for it. I didn't take $50 million and advertise celery. I didn't take $100 million and advertise celery like, the caffeine companies, caffeine industry will advertise, will take money, and boom, whatever. Every industry will take tons of money and boom, right? And any kind of health trend and fad, there's money behind it. Boom, to push it out there. Advertising dollars. Boom, 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 boom. Celery juice? No, I don't even have a celery juice with my name on it, my face on it, going, try Anthony Williams celery juice, the famous and the original celery juice. And here, buy it here at Whole Foods. That doesn't exist. Not a dollar went into it. And it has changed and shaped literally all of alternative medicine. It's just go into the produce section and you'll see people just stand there long enough and they're coming in and grabbing their celery, coming in and grabbing their celery in every single grocery store in the US and around the world. And they learned how to do it. You don't put lemon in it. You don't put spinach in it. You don't put tomatoes in it. You don't put whatever, garlic in it. You don't put anything in it because it has to be by itself. That's why it works. It works because there's a balance with it by itself. Somebody will be like, oh, it's just hydrating. It's hydrating them. Really? That's kind of funny because there's a billion ways you can get hydrated. Everybody who's been sick has tried water. First thing doctors tell patients, drink more water. Have you tried drinking more water with your routine, right? Hydration in general and is not celery juice. It's not its like, redeeming factor, whatever you want to call it. It's not its main factor. It's what happens with celery juice is it's undiscovered as far as what it does and its benefits. Sure, you'll see out there now after medical medium exploded it, right? You'll see out there they say, oh, it's good for low blood pressure, good for high blood pressure. We're seeing people, whatever. You'll start seeing that now a little bit, but science and research stays the hell away from celery juice. If they really took a look at it, if money was invested into looking at it under the microscope, truly running tests, they would find a subgroup of sodium. And whether it's 100 years from now and I'm dead, fine, let it be discovered then, whatever, I don't care. But there's a subgroup of sodium. All sodium's not the same. All salt's not the same. But who's going to take $250 million and try to find out? Nobody. Certainly not the conventional medicine world. But yeah, there's a difference.
Is it better to take, if we're willing to eat 10 stalks of celery, is that better than celery juice? And how many ounces are you recommending?
Celery, if you eat it by itself, if you chop it up, throw it in a salad, it's incredible for you. If you eat 3 sticks of celery, 3 stalks of celery, whatever you want to call it, that's great for you. But no, it won't do the same thing. It has to be a large, okay, celery is an herb. It's not a vegetable, but it's an actual herb. You're doing herbal medicine. So if you're somebody that's into herbal medicine, you're into herbs, say you're a doctor in the plant-based movement and you like herbs, or you're somebody in the plant-based movement or whatever, any movement, and you like herbs, you just like them. You like Chinese herbs, you like, you like all herbs around the planet, right? Herbs from India, just you love herbs. And celery is an herb. And when you take that herb and you extract that herb and you get rid of the pulp, you get rid of the fiber. You can get fiber in your diet doing anything. You can get fiber. Yeah, eat more fruits and vegetables. You'll get fiber, right? Eat more, whatever you want. But the point is that you're making an herbal extraction. That's the difference with celery. So if you eat 3 stalks of celery, it's not going to give you enough of that herbal extraction. You need a larger amount of it. That's what's critical with it. So when you do 16 ounces of an herbal extraction, you don't have to have the fiber part of the celery to make it work. It actually goes against it working. You're sitting there crunching down celery sticks. You're not going to get the same benefit somebody's moving the needle with 32 ounces of straight celery juice, the herbal extraction. You see, like here, right? That's an herbal extraction. That's nettle tea. That's what I have, right? You don't do this at the end of, you don't do this. You say, hey, I'm going to open up this tea bag because I don't want to throw away the fiber and everything, and I'm going to just eat all that. You're making an herbal extraction. Nettle, Dr. Pai, you probably like nettle, right? That's probably like one of the ones that you like as far as the herb.
Yes, we do use that. But if I may interject.
Sure.
So is there any harm of anybody doing a celery juice? No. Is it the end all be all of everything that we should be doing? No. The challenge is, again, I'm going to keep saying this because this will be my soapbox. And now I forgot where I'm in the middle of this discussion here, is that, everybody, you're just asking, well, which green juice? Well, so drinking any juice versus no juice will always be a benefit. Pure and simple. Eating more fruits and vegetables are going to be better than eating no vegetables. So if there's a juice that has 3 ingredients, it's better than the juice that has no ingredients or something else, right? If there's a juice that has 10 ingredients, then it's better. Why? Because we're just getting, but you have to understand at the end of the day, what we've done, because we've had patients who have done these things, right? We've even explored it ourselves, right? Let's just do this thing. And yes, you feel good. You feel great. Is it going to reverse all, end all, be all, change all? No, because you still need more phytonutrients. You still need more antioxidants. You still need to have the rainbow color effect. And we can still measure those things, which we do in our patients, right? So when they come in from any product, whether it's a celery juice or a sprouting juice or whatever, carrot, apple, ginger juice, or whatever the juice may be, and different clinics and different places that have these things all around the world, the goal is like, well, then can we measure, are they optimized in their antioxidants or B vitamins and their minerals? Is their microbiome being more balanced or not? Is there inflammatory markers there? Is there immune markers better? If we measure those, we can show that with doing one monotherapy is not the way to look at overall total nutrition. It's not a bad thing to help boost someone and get someone motivated. Everybody needs a reason why they should be walking into the produce aisle. So please do whatever makes you eat more fresh, real food. I'm all for that. So sometimes I'm like, hey, if that's what's going to take you to make you believe that plants have the power of healing, which they do, and you can get into eating more plant-based, hopefully over time, then please, by any means necessary, do a juice. But at the end of the day, we do end up having a lot of patients, unfortunately, particularly those people who have cancer or chronic diseases, where they're just walking around with their pitchers of juice and they're not doing better. And the reason being is because that's not full and complete nutrition at the end of the day. Even though it's not harmful, it's helpful, but it's not the end. It's a monotherapy. Your body's more complex. Nutrition is more complex. Healing is more complex than monotherapy. Just like I'm not telling everybody just swallow only curcumin, for example. And that's yes, a lot of things will get better. You can just take all that you want and inflammation will go down. All these other markers will get better, but that's still monotherapy. So from our perspective, or how I practice, and from our clinical experience over 23 years of seeing tens of thousands of patients, and following those patients, which is key.
Yeah, you have to
the demonstration of the use of those things. So giving advice is interesting and it's a nice thing to do. And those people who do those things are great. But trends are everywhere, by the way. I mean, there's always a new juice, there's always a new this. There's also going to be a new burger at the fast food restaurants. That's also a trend, and 1 billion people will eat that tomorrow too. Doesn't mean that's always the best thing for them, right? These are trends, these are things. Now, there's not bad problems with celery. There's no problem with the celery. Is there salt issues or this, that? No, I'm not concerned about any of those things. So it's not going to ever harm people, and people want to do that. But is that something that people should always do or only do? Then that's self-limiting. That's the whole magic bullet theory of like even the plant-based people. I just need to do this, but they're not going to do anything else with their life. Right. That's the challenge that I'm trying to tell people when they're doing these things. It's a great motivating factor to get people to get on board with, hey, you need to start understanding that foods can have a healing power of your body. That's fantastic experience of any kind of juicing or any kind of change in diet. But the idea is that what happens, a lot of people will just say, I just do this and I don't really do the rest that I need to do. And then that's the shortcoming that they will come to.
I think it's like that with everything. I think it's like that with everything. If you can't just do one thing, expect 100 symptoms to go away. I think,
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to tell, but I think sometimes the questions and Stephen, the question would be like, well, which juice is better? Like that's there's always this competition of like, I need to do better. It's like, well, you got to do better. You got to make sure that you're having rainbow colored fruits, all the phytonutrients, right? Phyto meaning plant nutrients, like every color, reds, yellows, greens, purples, blues, every shade of green, every shade of gray, every shade of purple, every pink, every vegetable, grain, legume, and seed and nut and all. Every phytonutrient is something that has an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-diabetes, anti-heart disease, beneficial effect at making the microbiome more diverse. So if we do monotherapy foods, we can then follow that. That's not helping because it's all about diversity at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think what happens is, a lot of people, they'll go, hey, let me try this. They'll hear about something. They'll try, let me try this bottle of whatever it is, curcumin or whatever it is. Let me try this turmeric. Let me try this. And they'll go and they'll do that. They won't do anything else. But what happened is those things never exploded like celery juice, which is crazy because when someone says, okay, I'm going to try celery juice, and then what the hell? This is different than the other 20 billion things I tried. That's, I think, because like I said, it wasn't trended by financial backing. It's like, exactly.
No, I get it. I get the whole not having the monetary aspect. We've done the celery juice myself. So if anybody's sitting there saying, well, Dr. Pi hasn't done celery juice, hasn't tried it. Like,
no, I'm not.
We've done that. But I'll tell you this, it's still monotherapy. Now, taking something like that is going to remove the crap that people might be eating in their lifestyle that is actually inhibiting and harming them health, right? So again, we can take a million different juices every couple of years, by the way. And I'm not trying to downplay your benefit of your celery juice, right? But to say that it's the end all be all, which a lot of people are pushing, is a little bit a little bit fancy. And I know I'm probably going to get trolled from this because I'm talking a little bit negative against the medical medium, but that's okay. I'm evidence-based. I'm like, look, I can show you carrot juice, I can show you green juice, I can show you any juice.
No, you're not.
What about the spices that people need? That people are not eating spices in their diet. So everybody's now talking about just juicing and vegetables, and they don't understand the true medical aspect of that aspect.
No, I understand. And spices are key for so many people for so many reasons. And the thing is, and I totally understand what you're saying, because people grab onto one thing and one thing only, and they try it, and it's really difficult. The only thing with the celery juice thing, which is really interesting is you get how it really exploded was, it wasn't that person that needed to lose a little bit of weight or something, or needed to get their A1C better. It was people that were seasoned. That's how it really came to be. It's like seasoned people, right? And seasoned people knew what they had in their hands. And then of course it moves on to a whole bunch of people that aren't seasoned in their health, and they go, I'm going to try celery juice. I have a problem with my gallbladder. I'm going to try celery juice. And they have, 50 stones in their gallbladder, and they need care for their gallbladder. A glass of celery juice isn't going to fix it like that, but the seasoned people, it can help actually stop gallstones from being created. But seasoned people that have already been,
and what will
chronic
stop
illness.
that more is actually the celery seed more than just the celery stalk, by the way.
Well, hey, that's
actually has more phytochemicals in for prevention of the kidney stones. So that's where the seed part is actually the stronger part of when we're looking at the spice part, or the herbs of the celery seeds.
No, that's good. It's good that's there. And so, but I'll tell you, like, it's those seasoned people that have years of experience. That's really what really like happened. It was like these people that have like 20 years of sickness, and
Right.
Man, and then they felt it hit them like nothing else. I'm not saying it's the be all end all of celery juice. This is one of the medical medium tools in the toolbox, but it sure as heck has changed and shaped the world and sickness, which is, it's really interesting. But no, Dr. Pai, I understand what you're saying. Like, it'll drive anybody crazy who's in the health field when people are grabbing onto this one thing and grabbing onto this one thing. I mean, you'll get people walking in being like, look, I'm doing neem oil. Dr. Pai, I'm doing neem oil. Dr. Pai, I'm doing, all this, whatever. And then you're just like, wait a minute. There's a lot of things you got to do. There's a lot of things we got to look at. There's a lot of things we have to look at in your blood work. It could be maddening for a lot of health professionals.